Hello everybody and welcome to the second session of our class, Exploring Your Past Lives, an introductory class to past life therapy. And we had a great first class. David Reynolds facilitated, and we are rotating facilitators each week. And today, myself, Tracy Kennedy, and Nanette Bro will be facilitating the class. And we have several things that we'll be doing, and it will be interactive and participatory because, as anyone knows, to really learn something, you have to activate that higher self, your part that we're trying to develop, our super consciousness. If we just expect to have the information spit out to us, we won't get anything out of it because it really won't, you haven't made it your own. So the more you put into the class through study, through attempting to conceive, when you leave the class, as well as when you're here, the more you're going to get out of it, the more progress you'll see in your lives. And anyone who has been studying Venereals for a while can attest to that. You know, for lackadaisical, we don't make any progress, or if we think we're making progress and we're really not doing anything, we're actually backsliding, and that's not what we're about. We're students of truth on this pathway of progressive evolution, and in order to be on this pathway, it requires that we make that positive effort. And when we make that effort, we have tremendous help from the Venereals Brothers of Light, these advanced beings who have been along the same pathway we have, many incarnations on third dimensional worlds, and have moved beyond because they have developed and activated that higher consciousness, their super consciousness, and they are in tune with more developed and advanced beings who reside on non-atomic and celestial planes. So there's no end to what we can learn and how we can learn and how we can attempt to understand ourselves as energy beings.
I don't know whether I read it or whether he brought it up last time, probably not the superconscious and the conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Did he bring that up last time?
Yes, he did.
I really, it was good what he brought up. It helped me understand it better, and everything is a cause and effect, and
Mm-hmm.
positive and negative like you were talking about. And I always associated the subconscious with the superconscious, but then I found out that the subconscious is actually the physical body, and the superconscious is spirit. Is that correct?
In a sense, the subconscious contains the memory of all the experiences in this lifetime.
Okay.
And the mental conscious contains all the experiences from all of our past lives, and the good and bad things and the unresolved experiences. And the superconsciousness contains all of the experiences that have been polarized, where we have that recognition and we have a healing, and that experience is no longer, it's a complete cycle. It's my example of drowning. That's a polarized experience. That's a lesson I've learned. But the superconsciousness is what is hooked up to and connected to the advanced beings who are helping us. It's a higher frequency.
But before I ask you to relate some of your fears, maybe I can relate what I had realized yesterday, or I should say the last class, on the beginner's class, the first class that we had on last Saturday. David was talking about the fear, or I should say Tracy was talking about the fear of sailing that she had, the drowning, especially the drowning. And then she related that you attract these things to yourself, and you go and try to, you know, she went again and again to sail and to try to see this path. So when she related that, I myself related to David, what about, you know, I'm deadly afraid of ocean, and I never go near the ocean. I think I've been here 27, 28 years, and I've been to the ocean only twice. I don't like it. I stay away from it. And so I related that to David when he was the moderator. And David actually was inspired to see what he did. He said that, I don't remember the specific words that he used, but he said that, what if you were on the ocean, you're coming, you know, you're leaving your country, you're coming on the ocean with a big ship, and the ship, a big storm came, and the ship went, why do you say that? The ship went over.
Capsized.
Capsized, that's correct. when he said that, I said, oh my God, I know that this is what happened to me. And I had written down that I had a fear of the ocean, but I also have a fear of something grabbing me when I am in the water. The last time I ever went swimming is something, I saw this big insect in front of me. I said, oh my God, I'm never going to go back in the ocean. I mean, in a river. We used to live in a river in Canada. Well, I realized last week that this fear of something grabbing me when if I go swimming is coming from that lifetime where I went into the ocean and something grabbed me, probably a shark or something. So, no, the reason I'm saying this too is as you write your fears, as you write, I have a lot of fears, you have to be honest. No, that's how honesty is one of the best tools to overcome your past. If you're trying to hide that, no, I don't have a fear, or I don't do these things, you're not ready to actually look at what you did. So the honesty is the first, to me, the first thing that I do is to be honest with myself.
We have an article in your book. It's called Hallucinations, and we were going to listen to that chapter, but we're about 3 minutes away from 3 o'clock. And the chapter is one of our favorites that we've used in other classes and workshops before, because the information is so valid about this process of past life therapy and how we basically, because mass is an illusion, and what the moderator talks about is how this whole world and everything that we see is a hallucination, and how we can actually understand the energy principles and apply this to ourselves and begin to see the different pulls from our past lives and how they're affecting us. And then he very specifically talks about how to tell when you've had a valid past life awareness and change, which is wonderful, because so many times as students we can kind of deceive ourselves and think that, oh yeah, I saw this certain past, I had this past life awareness come in. But the truth of the proof of past life therapy is if there's been a positive change in your life. And he explains this process in great detail. There's also some questions to go around with after you study the chapter. And I have studied this chapter for many, many years. And every time I study it, and I've read it and studied it several times this week, I'm getting more and more out of it. So that would be your assignment for the next week, to study that particular chapter. And thank you for all of your participation. It's been a wonderful class. Always appreciate being here at Unirius and learning more